tools, and of course our product. So Bob, what do we have to consider for safety?
Well, first of all, we want to make sure we have a welded area.
Okay.
And we are going to be using a power tool, so we want to have eye protection. And sometimes people are also sensitive to the sound of a power saw, so you might consider an earplug or something of that sort. And be careful.
Okay. Just be aware, I guess, in your work environment. So.
Right.
All right, let's move on to our tools. What do we have for tools?
Okay, well, first of all, we're going to be using a power saw.
Okay.
And what's important here also is that we need a carbide-tipped blade.
Got it.
Knee pads are very essential because you're going to be on your knees for an extended period of time. This is a lifesaver.
Okay.
They come in various qualities, and if you're only going to use them once, you might get a cheaper pair. If you're going to use them for more than a few times, indulge yourself.
Yes, exactly. Mess up your knees.
Our hammer, pencil, tape measure, utility knife, 4 penny nails for installation of trim and other pieces that are not part of our planking, wood fill. Every manufacturer will have a wood fill colored to match the particular type of planking that you're using, and I would recommend using that.
Okay.
A pull bar. This we'll get into that later when our installation, but this is a tool that you probably will not need at any other time, but for this installation.
Okay.
But it is worth the expense. This is a tapping block. Spacers. Now these spacers are designed for 1/4 inch spaces, 1/16 and 3/16, so that if you want a 1/4 inch, you put 2 together, top and bottom. Our miter box for corner trim installation, and a straight edge is good for our purposes that we're using. We're going to be installing in a rather confined space, so this 4-foot level will serve us as a straight edge to determine the levelness of our surface. If you have a larger surface, which most people will be doing, a piece of string and a nail to be used to fulfill the same function as our level will. This is about finding low spots in our floor.
Okay, got it.
And I think that does it for our tools.
That's it for our tools.
I'm sorry, here's a nail set for setting any nails for our 1/4 round pieces or other trim.
Okay. All right, let's talk about our product here, Bob. What do we got?
Okay, first of all, most obvious, this is one piece of our hardwood glueless planking. And one thing to keep in mind is that before installation, you want to open up your packages and put them into the room that you're going to be using them in, and let them breathe or acclimate into the climate of that room for at least 48 hours.
Okay, wow.
That allows for expansion and contraction according to the temperature of your room. This is the instructions for our laminate, and it's always a good idea to refer to those periodically. Make sure you're doing everything just right.
Okay.
For our trim pieces, this is called a reducer, and we're going to be showing how this works. This goes from a higher surface, such as carpeting or tile, to our laminate. This is a stair nosing for any kind of stair installation that you may be doing. This is another piece of stair nosing. And this is a track to affix our reducing pieces we nail, screw, or glue this piece down to our subfloor, and then we affix our reducers to that track. This is a very basic piece. In this case, we have a 2-in-1 foam underlayment. If you are putting your floor onto a cement subfloor, it is essential that you use a poly plastic underlayment first as a moisture barrier, and then you roll your foam underlayment on top of that. In this case, this is a 2-in-1 foam underlayment, and once again, as always, follow the manufacturer's recommendations. We are going to use the 2-in-1 for our installation. And here's one more. This is also an essential piece. This is a quarter round because we need to lay our flooring with a 1/4-inch gap all around our perimeter and at any spot that is going to abut, say, a cabinet, a door, a pipe. We need a 1/4-inch expansion gap. And around our walls, we will affix this quarter round to close that gap.
Okay. All right, got all of our pieces covered. We'll be taking everything down and heading down to our job site and starting to put in our floor.
Let's go.
Let's go. Hi, welcome to our job site. We're going to be installing our flooring in this nice little area at the top of the stairs right here. And let's see, what did we do to prep this area? Because I know we need to make sure we have a clean area to work in.
Right.
And what's necessary here.
So first of all, make sure that there's no protrusions on the floor. Pick up any nails, extra protrusions. This is a carpet strip here that we want to make sure we get up. And clean. Once we're finished, we want to make sure we sweep it up really nicely. Maybe a shop vac would be a good tool to have to finish off our cleanup. And then we're going to make sure that our floor is level.
Okay.
And we'll tell you how to do that.
All right, so we're working with a concrete floor here. That's pretty normal for putting down this floor.
Right. But concrete floor is a little bit of a different problem. If you're on a bottom floor with the concrete floor is going to create some moisture, and you need a moisture barrier on the concrete floor on the first floor. Since we're on the second floor here, we don't have to worry about that. Okay, we've laid out our underlayment piece. Now I'm going to make our cut on the edge of our step. So I cut out another piece the same length as my first, and because our second piece is quite a bit narrower than our first, I'm going to now cut out that piece out of quite a bit larger piece. So we're going to lay our planks with our light source, and because the length of our surface is less than 2 plank lengths, we will have to make quite a few cuts. Basically, the rule of thumb is to stagger your planks every 3rd plank. Let me demonstrate our first interlocking plank. Simply tilt the groove towards the tongue, or vice versa, and snap down. So we've measured out our floor, and we're going to make a number of cuts. We've made a few cuts, and now we're ready for our installation. For our first couple rows, it's a good idea to bring